Oh, he's
this
great.
past week.
Charles is excellent.
He and Scott Horton from Anti-War Radio are the best. I mean, that's all I listen to. I know he's here.
Also best. Also the best. I mean,
no. I'm not putting one over the other. Both of them are excellent.
Scott does great work too.
But I think he was quoted. I think it was a British media. Might have been the Guardian. Can't really remember. Is that they actually have torture chambers on warships, or some type of ships. I don't know. Have you heard this, or is this?
Basically, all I know is what I read on antiwar.com.
Okay.
No, I've seen a little bit on this. It doesn't sound unplausible.
Oh, I don't either.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, the U.S. government told so many lies about the renditions. There were so many false statements about how they weren't grabbing people and flying them around the world to be tortured. So I assume the U.S. government has already said that it's false that they're using ships to hold people and to interrogate them. So I'm sure the government's right this time. But that's a huge story, especially if it's true. And I hope people will follow it out, and I hope that some more stuff can come out of that. Because, I mean, this whole notion of secret prisons around the world. I mean, back in, that was one of the worst things about the Soviet system. That was what the books on the Gulag helped change the world opinion in the Soviet Union. And now, as Amnesty International charged a few years ago, the U.S. government has its own Gulag of these secret prisons scattered all over the world. Some of the worst interrogation abuses have gone on in Thailand, which has also done a great job of tyrannizing its own people at times. But, we have no idea what the U.S. government is doing in our name. And as free citizens, we can't afford to let the government do atrocities in our own name and say, well, we didn't know, Well, nobody told us. Well, that's BS, because there are good information sources out there. And more importantly, people need to put the heat on the government to, tell us what they've done. Yeah.
Mr. Bovard, I have a question, but preceded with a fact that might be of interest to you and those in the audience, since you mentioned the terrorist watch list. With apologies for being a little bit autobiographical, on my way to Europe last year in the spring of 2007 on a German airline, I was pulled aside and told how to be inspected. And the man said, "I'll take care of it, sir." But he said, "You're on a watch list." So what I did is I inquired. I used to have very sensitive clearances with friends of mine in very senior positions. I mean, I give you the report that I am on a watch list, but this is the significant fact I wanted to convey to you in the audience, maybe for your reflection. I was put on that list by 2 foreign intelligence services. Did you hear that? I was put on that. I would prefer not to say that now in public, but you could well imagine what they are, and they're related to one another. I mean, they work together. But I was put on that watch list by 2 foreign intelligence services, and I was told by my friends that they were told I will not be removed from it. So I wanted to indicate that. I mean, it shocked me. They told me there are some things I'm going to do, but I prefer to hide in the open. But I think it's a significant fact, especially in light of some of my own previous background and experience. But the second thing I think might be of interest to you, or I'd like your comment on, of interest to the audience. The last time I saw you was when I was invited to the conference with Pat Buchanan and his neoconservative counterpoint with Terry Jeffrey. Well, during the interview, this was in what, 2004, I think?
I think it was April 2005.
Okay. But I went up to Pat during the break, and we were talking about my mutual friend, Sam Francis. But I asked Pat Buchanan to what extent he had written about or was informed about the revision of the military's unified command plan, especially the establishment of the Northern Command. And I was surprised to hear Pat said, "I don't know what you're talking about." And it was not the time to go into it, but I just wanted to raise something issue. A lot of this is in the open, but before even the Homeland Security Department eventually was set up, there was a development of a Northern Command. It's out in Colorado Springs. It's headed by a 4-star admiral or general, and the area of responsibility is largely in the continental United States, some Canada and some other things. But I remember at the time when I was involved with some of these things, raising the question, well, if you're a 4-star admiral or general, and this is your area responsibility, you've got to have intelligence in your area responsibility. And what are the implications of this? I mean, is there going to be, our intelligence community applied to doing this? But I have seen very little response from different groups. I mean, this is not, there are certainly a lot of classified things about it, but this is not, you can look at the Unified Command Plan and what NORTHCOM is. They've made some revisions since it was first up, but Pat had no idea about it. My question to you is, are you aware of this, and do you have any reflections about that? Military command, not Homeland Defense.
Yeah, it's